It's
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Uptown Charlotte at rain-soaked Bank of America Stadium. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They're led out by a man who started more Super Bowls than anyone in NFL history, the great Tom Brady.
I can't help but admire the career Tom Brady has had. The numbers are off the charts. The Super Bowl championships and rings, we know that they are incredible. But how about the durability? Had one season that he missed, most of that season because of a knee injury. The rest of the time, he answers the bell and wills his team to victory more times than not. Brandon, there's 2 weeks to go in the regular season, so you know the pressure is ramped up in so many ways. People have to win games, try and get their bonuses, the whole deal. But how about trying to close out an MVP award?
Just 2 weeks to go. There has to be a lot of pressure, though. We talked about that in previous weeks, sitting on his shoulder.
Yeah, he can talk all he wants about, I don't listen to that, and there's no pressure. All we're doing is trying to win games. He knows, we all know, he's been the one who's been leading the pack. Let's see if he can close it out.
20! 20!
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. And the starting defense here for the Panthers.
And I enjoy watching KK Short work inside as a defensive tackle. 24.5 sacks from that spot over the last 3 seasons. That puts him in the company of guys like Geno Atkins, Aaron Donald, Fletcher Cox. When you want an inside pass rusher, think about KK Short.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And he'll have his man. That's Edelman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a handoff for Gurley. And he'll get across midfield and into Carolina territory. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. 22 carries, 95 yards.
And they've got a nice scheme going right now, and they run the football pretty well. In fact, I was talking with him on the field before the game, and he said he's starting to hear from the guys ahead of him on the rushing yardage total, and they want to know if he's going to jump up there and join them at the top of the list.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said right down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They run. It's Gurley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Brady. To the left side and complete for Julian Edelman. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons called on Matt Bryant. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this will remain a scoreless game. Now, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not
that
mistaken,
does,
correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. Stops shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. From the gun, here's Newton. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, kicking it away here, Michael Pilardi. Back deep, Julian Edelman. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And the final 2 weeks, just like a formality pretty much, they're going to be the #1 seed, but there is the matter of that perfect record, 14-0 right now. How might that change how they approach these next 2 games?
And I think what it does is it forces you to come together as a team and as an organization and say, okay, what are we really trying to accomplish here? And what's the best way to reach those goals? For some teams, the best way is to stay focused, stay locked in, go for a perfect season, and then take that open week to rest and heal up before the playoffs begin. For others, okay, we've got it locked in. Let's start to tamp it down a little bit. Get these guys rested and ready to go. All depends on your organization. I think most players would tell you, let's go for the perfect 16-0.
Yeah, I think the fan base, they would usually say that as well, wouldn't they?
They certainly would. The hard part, though, is if you get beat along the way, we should have rested the guy. You know how it works.
Here's Brady. An incomplete, crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high power, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now Gurley, handoff left. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Tackle made by Thomas Davis.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
From the gun on 3rd down, Brady. And he fires one, but incomplete.
But he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. Get better players, better system, so they can play to the standards of the defense, and the win column will result. I don't think what we just saw there was any surprise, because when Christian McCaffrey came out of Stanford, we knew he was a threat running it and catching it, and any way you can get the ball in his hands, you wanted to do so. Personally, I thought he ran the best routes of anyone coming out of his draft class, and that included the wide receivers.
Last year, 80 receptions, also in the return game. He's a bit of a Swiss Army knife, isn't he?
He certainly is. Every which way you want to go, however you want to package him, I do think his running production will increase in 2018.
On second down, here's Newton. Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. Now a give running left for Gurley. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he fires one incomplete. Looking for his all-pro tight end, Rob Gronkowski, and it's 3rd and short.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
220, right 25, present.
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Julius Peppers in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So on 4th down, the Falcons will call on Matt Bosher to punt it away. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he's brought down after a good game. A good pickup there, a 22. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. From the 50, Newton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Newton. And that's incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Here's Michael Pilardi now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
That throw by Brady incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. To the right side, and he's got Edelman. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
White 20!
Gurley. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Footing's definitely going to be an issue because it's tough to make those quick cuts that you're used to making on a soggy track. In fact, a Hall of Fame runner once told me, cut on your heels in this type of weather. Gives you better balance.
The Falcons on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Brady. Wide open, Julian Edelman. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
They go play action here on first down. Green's got it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
To throw, it's Brady. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Julian Edelman that time, and it's third down. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing. Well, there it is, partner. Brady to Gronk, their first connection of the game.
You think those two often in sync?
I don't think there's any question about it. And look, we know Gronk has a whole lot of fun, but he's deadly serious about his football, as is Tom Brady. Two great competitors, two fantastic players.
Brady gonna throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here.
Offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Now Brady on the bootleg. And this one's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Wait 20! Wait 20!
Off the bootleg, Brady. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Bryant's kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me, partner.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
Carolina getting set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
What's that? 180!
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. And his throw is incomplete. Greg Olsen was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with, some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. The Panthers on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Newton. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, it's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the 2nd quarter.
And a lot of that is pride because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
Well, he probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, Falcons. Todd Gurley, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Draw play as Newton gives to McCaffrey. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And that's caught by Smith. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This is Newton off the play fake to McCaffrey. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
And, Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips, and this one winds up getting intercepted.
Coming out on the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, Brady. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. Like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
On first down, Brady. And he's got Edelman on the out route. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves his sticks. And finding Edelman underneath, that's a recipe for success.
Typical route for a good slot receiver, and Edelman's one of the best in the game. Knows how to go inside what one of my college coaches used to call the briar patch. Got to go in there where it's tough and make those tough catches. And not only can he do it, he can often run away from people after the catch.
Go. Wait, set. Wait, 20.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he slings one that's incomplete. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
20. 380.
To throw again. Brady. His throw incomplete. Julian Edelman, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. Strong coverage by Carolina, and on we go to 4th down. The Falcons will call on Matt Bryant for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
I'll bet you as they ran out there for that play, the head coach either on his headset or he pulled him aside and told the special teams coordinator, whatever block you've got, pull it out of the bag right now. We need a spark.
When you can just feel it on their sideline, the air just kind of out of the balloon, now maybe you're right, a spark, a little bit of hope.
That's when the special teams coordinator who works on this ad nauseum, I'm talking about morning, noon, and night, he tried to figure out, okay, where's my best opportunity? Which one do I have? And he pulled the right one and got his team going and hopefully back into the game.
This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, it's Newton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Operating from the gun. Newton toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The 3rd down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
And Gano's kick is right through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
20. 20.
Brady now on first down. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10.
Wait, 20. Wide, 80. Down.
Throwing again. Brady. And he lets go a laser pulled in by Edelman. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. The final shot before half for Brady. And his throw is going to be incomplete. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll start with an NFC matchup. Tampa Bay on the road taking on Dallas. And that one closing in on halftime with the Cowboys out on top. Dak Prescott lighting it up. He's got 3 touchdown passes. From there, we're off to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they have the lead over the visiting Washington Redskins. Rashard Matthews, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And at the half, they are down to the visiting New York Giants. The Giants locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. In the game you're watching, it's who else? Tom Brady with a strong first half. His guys have the lead as we send you back up to Charlotte and rejoin Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. On the return, it's Kenyon Barner. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Well, they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
Sit. 180. Wait.
On second down, Anderson. Anderson a first down and more. And finally brought down at the 38. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start the second half.
Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and his offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them a first down.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. This is McCaffrey on the give. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now it's Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and it's third down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on third down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. From the gun, here's Newton. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
It was funny during the draft process. Someone said to me, well, whoever takes Christian McCaffrey, as it turned out it was Carolina, how are they going to use him? Is he going to be an every down back? Is he going to be a third down guy? They're going to use him in the slot? What are they going to do with him? And I just said, yes.
All of that.
No doubt about it. This kid can do it all.
And he did a nice job there out of the backfield to pick up the first. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Panthers are now an extra point away from tying up this game.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point try good by Gano. And we are even at 10 apiece. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. off the bootleg. Brady. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The strong safety, Mike Adams, that time. They're in coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you get the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell him, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
Brady's throw on third down there is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. Out comes Christian McCaffrey with the rest of the offense. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Another run, this time McCaffrey. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Panthers on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, Newton. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. It's caught inside the 25. A big third down play there for the Panthers. 54 yards.
I know they had good coverage downfield, but you have to wonder, on 3rd and long like that, how does that happen that they can get that far downfield and complete a pass? You got to guard the sticks, understand where you are, so it's almost like someone fell asleep at the switch, and now that the play's been completed, they've got to dust themselves off on defense, pick it up, and figure out how to not let that happen again.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Handoff comes to Anderson, and he'll get this one down to about the 17. A gain of 3, second down.
Come on now.
Here's Newton now on second down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
The Panthers on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Gano's kick is right through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Wait, 20! 390!
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter.
20! Again!
Now Brady throwing on second down. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Wait, 20! 380!
They fake the handoff. Now Brady. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth.
Wait, 20!
Looking back to the air on second down. It's Brady. He hits Gronkowski on the out route. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
The offense on third down tonight, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. Here's Gurley. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Well, when you got a kicker out there who's already missed twice, he definitely would rather have about a 30-yarder rather than one from a neighboring county.
Can we agree to just give him a pass on that one? It would have definitely been a way to turn his mood around, but instead, it's a third miss and another scoreless possession.
The Carolina offense making their way out. We take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
4 down. You're set. 180.
They'll give it up to McCaffrey. He'll get only a couple down to the 44. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Throwing is Newton. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Newton able to use those legs and get past the marker to pick up the first. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Newton now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Set. 180.
Play action. It's Newton. And that is incomplete here.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
You're set. 180.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Operating from the gun, Newton. And that will be incomplete as well. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Kick is right through, and that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. This will be fielded at the 6. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold it.
The throw there by Brady intended for Gronkowski, but incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now second down. To throw is Brady. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
There's Matt Bosher now. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs them up 5, 1st and 15. McCaffrey following the penalty. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. They get the penalty yardage back plus a yard. 6-yard gain, and it's 2nd and 9. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession. So they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
So it's Panther football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They give it to Anderson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. They'll run it. Here's Anderson. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Michael Pilardi now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Tom Brady leads the offense out for their next possession. I would imagine you want to win every game big, but if you're a quarterback in the NFL, this is the spot that you love.
You've been dreaming of it since you were a kid, playing in the backyard or the front yard, wherever, where you went through those imaginary situations. Now it's real, though. What practice have you put in since the OTAs and mini camps, preseason camp, sequence of plays, get the ball to the outside, get it out of bounds, save your timeouts, move the ball downfield, get your team in position to win the game.
And a field goal, of course, no good. They need a score. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them inbounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Mario Addison in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. They'll look to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 26 yards. First down now, but the clock continues to move. He's back to throw. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
220, 380,
He'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down.
220,
Back to throw. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. That's what they need right now. Get the 1st down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
To throw is Brady. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And now the spike comes with 15 seconds on the clock. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, But it's incomplete and now second down.
20.
Back to throw, Brady. That's complete, right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining.
20. 20.
Now Brady. And this is caught. It's Edelman. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal. Likely the play of the game here. Trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Well, no doubt an electrifying finish to have it down inside the 10-yard line. That final shot, though, they couldn't get it in the end zone, and that's all she wrote.
And they had the final shot. The last snap taken that close to the end zone. They don't get it in, so they'll regret that. But flip it over, making a stand in that portion of the field, congratulations to them.
So for the Panthers, the wins have been hard to come by, but they get one here to move to 4-11 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Panthers are winners here as we say so long from Charlotte.